Do you think eating sweets only affects your waistline? Scientific evidence reveals that 5 months before high-sugar diets make you fat, they have already precision-targeted and cut off the nutrient supply to your brain's hippocampus, causing your core for learning and memory to collapse prematurely. Part 1. The fatal illusion: cognitive failure precedes obesity. Hello everyone, and welcome to our podcast. Before we dive into today's hardcore science, I want you to recall a familiar scene. When you're stressed at work, irritable, or simply exhausted, do you subconsciously reach for an iced milk tea, a delicate slice of cake, or a high-carb bowl of refined starch? We often say sweets improve the mood, and it has become a modern survival compensation mechanism. But today, I'm sharing a scientific report that will overturn your perception. This study comes from the Department of Physiological Science at UCLA, led by Professor Molteni and his team. The research uncovers a hidden and brutal truth. The damage a high-fat, high-sugar HFS diet deals to the brain happens much earlier, more precisely, and more destructively than you imagine. We harbor a fatal illusion that as long as I don't get fat, I'm fine. We assume that trouble only starts when the numbers on the scale soar or belly fat accumulates. However, scientific data tells us that 5 months before visible obesity surfaces, a high-sugar diet has already silently dismantled your cognitive function and neuroplasticity. This isn't just about physique. It's about the collapse of your brain's underlying operating logic. Part 2. Meet the brain's superfertilizer, BDNF. To understand this collapse, we must recognize a key player in the brain, BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. In the world of neuroscience, BDNF is hailed as the brain's superfertilizer, or natural umbrella. It is the essential medium for maintaining neuronal vitality. When we learn a new skill, memorize a text, or navigate an unfamiliar city, BDNF expression in our hippocampus surges to help build new neural connections. Specifically, BDNF plays 3 roles. The foundation of learning. It acts as a neurotransmitter modulator, directly determining how fast you absorb new information. The architect of synapses. It influences neurotransmitter release, helping the brain form new synapses and maintain network stability. The guardian of repair. It is a vital barrier protecting neurons against oxidative stress, metabolic damage, and disease. Without BDNF, the brain is like a withered tree without water. It cannot grow, it cannot remember, and it certainly cannot adapt to new challenges. A high-sugar diet acts like a precision missile, striking the hippocampus, the core hub for BDNF production. Part 3. The epicenter of destruction, targeting the hippocampus. Research found that the destruction caused by an HFS diet is specific. It doesn't affect the entire brain uniformly. Instead, it prioritizes attacking the learning and memory center, the hippocampus. The hippocampus is the relay station responsible for spatial memory and long-term memory conversion. In the early stages of high-sugar intake, the cerebral cortex might remain unaffected, but the hippocampus becomes a disaster zone. This destruction triggers a chain reaction, severing communication, inhibiting synapsin, I, the protein responsible for neurotransmitter release, stunting growth, blocking GAP43, a growth-associated protein essential for synapse formation, weakening long-term memory, reducing CREB, a transcription factor necessary for solidifying long-term memories. In short, high-sugar diets cut off our ability to form new memories and retain old information at a molecular level. Part 4. The countdown 3 stages of brain collapse. According to Professor Molteni's research, the deterioration of the brain follows a stepped process. Stage 1, Month 1, the beginning of disorientation. After just 1 month of continuous high-sugar intake, spatial learning abilities begin to suffer. In water maze tests, subjects take significantly longer to find targets. The brain is already starting to get lost. Stage 2, Month 2, the molecular plunge. By the 2nd month, the damage reaches the molecular core. BDNF mRNA expression drops sharply. The infrastructure of the neural network, BDNF, synapsin I, and GAP43 all shrink. Communication and growth are forcibly throttled. Stage 3, month 6. The critical point and deep damage. It takes about 25 weeks, roughly 6 months, for the body to show significant weight gain. But by this time, BDNF protein levels in the brain have been slashed by nearly 67%. Core transcription factors like CREB have also plummeted. By the time you notice your muffin top, the deep-seated transcriptional barriers in your brain have already been entrenched for half a year. Part 5. The metabolic overture insulin resistance. Why does sugar destroy the brain? This is closely linked to diet-induced insulin resistance. This systemic endocrine disruption occurs extremely early, long before fat accumulates. Before the body gets fat, the brain is already suffering from metabolic malnutrition and neurotrophic famine. Part 6. Real-world impact. The collapse of work, life, and mental health. This molecular destruction manifests as a total assault on your daily life. The crash of productivity. When BDNF is destroyed, your software can't update. Learning new skills becomes agonizingly slow. Memory fades, and your ability to handle high-pressure tasks diminishes. Hidden premature aging. This cognitive decline can happen while your blood pressure is normal and your weight is stable. It significantly increases vulnerability to neurodegenerative diseases, accelerating the onset of Alzheimer's. 提示字幕。好啦，晚安，明天见。The collapse of psychological defenses. BDNF is also your mental umbrella. Without it, your resilience against life's setbacks withers, leaving you exposed to cognitive frustration and self-doubt. Conclusion. Your brain pays the bill. To summarize, we see a clear memory collapse domino effect. High sugar, high fat intake, rapid depletion of hippocampal BDNF within 1 month, inhibition of synaptic growth proteins, neural communication is interrupted, decline of CREB, long-term memories fail to consolidate, loss of neuroplasticity, total cognitive decline. To protect our sharp, clear minds, we must start with our diet. Don't wait for your waistline to expand or your blood sugar to spike, because by then, your intellectual core may have already been eroded. Produced by VitaChoice Limited. Scientific evidence sourced from Professor Molteni and the UCLA research team.